America said, do not buy from Russia. What did we say? No, we will buy from Russia. Sovereign country hai, we will do what is best for us. I mean, they are like holding our ears. They are holding our ears and making us do. Did it happen? You know, the situation was such that Mrs. Gandhi was speaking to Lyndon Johnson. Like I told you, she had to call up the president to say, please release karo hamara grades. She called up the president and her fist was, she was holding the phone tight. She called up, she begged of him to send our grains, and when she finished the conversation, she banged the phone and said, I will never buy grains from Lyndon Johnson again. And as luck would have it, we came to a stage and in her prime ministership where we did not have to go and buy grains from Lyndon Johnson again. Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. My today's editorial doesn't deal with figures and numbers and statistics and all of that. My today's editorial deals with a lot of situations, a lot of stories. Let me start my editorial with what has currently just happened. That is the US-India trade deal. US-India trade deal, a lot of people, especially people from the Bharatiya Janata Party and the government, lauds the Prime Minister for this beautiful deal that has been presented to us. Beautiful deal that has been presented to us. In fact, Piyush Goyal's latest tweet, I think he tweeted this today, where he says that under the decisive leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, India has reached the framework of an interim agreement with the US. This will open 30 trillion market for Indian exports, especially MSMEs, farmers and fishermen. The increase in exports will create lakhs and new jobs, opportunities for our women and youth, and so on and so forth. He goes on to write. First of all, let us see how much growth, how much trade growth, how much financial growth, how much economic growth this particular deal gets India. Let's first see that. And the reason I'm saying this is because, let me ask you a few questions. What did America ask you? America said, do not buy from Russia. What did we say? No, we will buy from Russia. Sovereign country hai, we will do what is best for us. What happened? We have more or less decided not to buy from Russia. Because America has released a statement saying that they are going to monitor us, and if we continue to buy from Russia, not only will they pull back our tariff, but they will give another 25% fine or whatever penalty on us. I mean, they are like holding our ears. They are holding our ears and making us do. Did it happen? So if that was the case, what were we fighting for? What were we talking about? We stood our ground and, sovereignty and, our way or high. What are we talking about? We said we will not allow America to enter our agricultural market, period. We said we will protect our agricultural market. This is what we said. What happened? Our first press release, released on 5th of February, said that, we will protect our agricultural market. We are very clear about that. And then today morning's press release, 7th of February's press release, we said, we will protect our market, but, grains, certain grains we will protect, certain grains we will not. Soya bean oil we will not protect, but soya bean will protect, so on and so forth. What are we talking about? End of the day, long and short kya hai? Long and short ये है कि agriculture market also opened. Russian oil बंद, agriculture market opened. What negotiation? Pray tell me, what negotiation? Every press release is about what we will not allow them to do. There is no press release about what we are allowing them to do. There is no press release about what exactly are the tariffs we are levying on them. They are very clear what tariff they are levying on you. But we are not clear as to what tariff we are levying on them. Is there something called a zero tariff? Is this going to happen? Is it reality? Because everything they say now is turning into reality. And that's the question I ask you. And that's what's upsetting me. Let me tell you about America. Let me tell you a story about America. In 1966, when American president was Lyndon Johnson, he was the 36th president of America, Lyndon B. Johnson. They used to call him LBJ. When LBJ was the president of United States, we needed grains, food grains. desperately needed food grains. We didn't have money. We needed 15 million tons of food grains. That was what India required. And you know what this LBJ would do? This LBJ would not give us those grains. He would give them to us on a month-to-month basis. So every time our food grains get stuck, which at times did, we were palpitating because we had no food to feed our people. This was the condition of India. And this food grain was given to us under the scheme called PL, that is Public Loan 480. It was under the scheme called Public Loan 480. We were given loan and we were given food grains like that. You know, when Mrs. Gandhi went to United States on her first tour, the headline in Alabama newspapers were that Indian Prime Minister come begging. In fact, I'll read the exact headline to you. New Indian leader comes begging. That was what the Alabama paper headline said about Mrs. Gandhi. This was our status. You know, interestingly, LBJ's daughter took pity on India. And she told her father, listen, father, it is Christmas time. Please, this time around, it's a poor country. People there are starving. Please send them food grains on time. LBJ's father, that is Lyndon Johnson's daughter, told him that. Her name was Lucy Johnson, by the way. So Lucy Johnson told her father, Lyndon Johnson, that Baba, please, this time, Indians, poor guy, they don't have money. Send them that. Send them the grains. This was the status. And yet Lyndon Johnson said that, Indians, they're very weird. While they want our grains, but when it came to Vietnam, they stood by Vietnam. And that was our foreign policy. That was the spine that India had. I wonder where that spine is. And that's the spine I'm trying to look. The situation was such that Mrs. Gandhi was speaking to Lyndon Johnson. Like I told you, she had to call up the president to say, please, release karo hamara grains. She called up the president and her fist was, she was holding the phone tight. She called up, she begged of him to send her grains. And when she finished the conversation, she banged the phone and said, I will never buy grains from Lyndon Johnson again. And as luck would have it, we came to a stage and in her prime ministership where we did not have to go and buy grains from Lyndon Johnson again. You see, all of us talk about Vikasit Bharat, Vishwaguru and all that, but then we forget the people who brought us to this stage. We forget the people who had to fight a situation where there were no grains for people to eat. While they got those grains, while they fed those people, and yet stood our ground, stood our foreign policy. That didn't change. Of course, there were no television channels which would organize events and say that, we are such brave people, we are such great people that we stand our ground, we don't change for anybody, we will not compromise on Russian oil, we will not compromise on agriculture. All this, we didn't have news channels and news anchors saying that. But reality is, we stood our ground. We genuinely stood our ground. We overcame those days. We fought and we overcame those days. We came to a situation where we had grain surplus. We didn't have to beg or use PL 480 anymore. This was the America. But then that was our leadership. Today, we are supposed to be one of the fastest growing economy. My mind goes back to those days where we were starving for food, but we stood our ground. When we felt that America was not doing justice to Vietnam, we stood by Vietnam. We spoke for Vietnam, though we were starving for food. And today, we are the 56 inches Bharat. We are the new Bharat. We are the Bharat that doesn't change. We stand by our ground, but somewhere down the line, we seem to be changing our stance. Why? I wonder which Bharat was more Vikasit. I wonder which Bharat had more spines, and I wonder which Bharat had the 56 inches. This is the question that I wanted to ask. Like I told you, I'm not going to talk much of facts and figures. I've written an article. Please read my article if you get the time. Do read that article. I've gone into details about about the press release and the new Indo-American trade deal and what exactly can we expect and what exactly we can't. All of that I've written. So please go through that if you get time, and write down your comments below and let me know what you think. Till I see you next time, that's on Monday at 10. Namaskar.